Donald Trump has nominated J.D. Vance as his right-hand man. But how aligned are they politically? Let's break down how the two do and don't match up. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Vance's evolving views on Trump. Before running for office, Vance was a vocal critic, calling Trump an idiot and reprehensible. It was also reported that he compared Trump to Adolf Hitler in private and described himself as a never-Trumper. But these days, Vance's tone is much different. When Trump picked Vance as his running mate, Vance had already pivoted into one of Trump's strongest supporters, even when some of his GOP peers hesitated. So, a match at first sight? No, but Vance proves people can change. Trump's legacy on border policy includes the tangible divide on the U.S.-Mexico border, commonly referred to as the wall. Trump also wants to put an end to the catch-and-release system, bring back the program Remain in Mexico, and crack down on asylum fraud. Vance is equally opposing any form of amnesty for undocumented immigrants. He's also very much pro-wall and wants the project to be fully built out. He's calling for large-scale deportations and supports a merit-based system for immigrants looking to settle in the U.S. They're both all about strict immigration controls, but Trump's got a mix of policy changes and screenings while Vance focuses on walls and deportations. Ultimately, we call this a match. On the issue of abortion, Trump and Vance have a lot in common, but there are some key differences. Trump played a big role in overturning Roe v. Wade by appointing 3 conservative justices. Initially, he supported a national ban on abortion after 15 weeks. He's since pulled back, saying it should be left to the states.
The will of the people. People have wanted to end Roe v. Wade to get it back to the states. We did that.
He's been cautious about setting strict limits, preferring to negotiate a policy with exceptions for rape, incest, and the mother's life. Vance's stances have also shifted. During his Senate campaign, Vance was firm on wanting a national abortion ban, even in cases of rape or incest, except when the mother's life was at risk. While he supported a 15-week ban, he's now deferring to Trump, agreeing that abortion should be a state-level issue.
My view is that Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party, and his views on abortion are going to be the views that dominate this party and drive this party forward.
For the most part, the two seem to be a match on this issue, so long as Vance sticks to his strategy to go along with whatever Trump says. Given both candidates' history of pivots, we're going to call this a toss-up. Trump and Vance both back Israel. Trump has condemned Hamas and continues to boast this bold claim.
The war caused by the attack on Israel, which would have never happened if I was president.
Trump has also proposed pulling student visas for those with anti-Semitic views. Vance is also firmly in Israel's corner, having pushed to split aid packages to prioritize Israel over Ukraine. Ultimately, with Trump's focus on policy while Vance prioritizes funding, the two seem to balance each other out. We'll call this another match. Trump and Vance have some distinct takes on Ukraine. Trump's got big promises, claiming he'll end the war before he even takes office by playing peacemaker between both sides.
I will get the problem solved, and I will get it solved in rapid order, and it will take me no longer than 1 day.
Vance prefers a different playbook. He led an attempt to block a whopping $60 billion in military aid to Ukraine and has been pushing for Biden to strike a deal with Putin instead. Worthy of a match, they both want to resolve the conflict, but Trump's all about high-profile negotiations while Vance is more about dialing down the aid and pushing for direct talks. Looks like another toss-up to us. Trump and Vance are both deep in the election denial territory. Trump refused to concede the 2020 election, fueled conspiracy theories leading up to January 6th, and still spreads false claims. Vance is right there with him, falsely calling the election stolen and downplaying the severity of January 6th. He's even said he would have backed Trump's push to reject electoral votes if he had been VP at the time. Considering Trump's consistent effort to push conspiracy theories and Vance focusing on minimizing the fallout while supporting Trump's demands, it's a strong match with a shared agenda. For the GOP, gun control or lack thereof continues to be a priority. If elected, Trump vows to undo regulations set on pistol braces or stabilization devices, and roll back on the zero-tolerance policy implemented by the Biden administration to revoke federal licenses from firearm dealers violating gun laws. Vance has also echoed disapproval for stricter gun laws, opposing the bipartisan Safer Communities Act and universal background checks. Both Trump and Vance are endorsed by the NRA, confirming another match. Trump and Vance align well on key issues, making them a solid team on paper. But there's one thing to keep in mind. Vance's past controversial statements, like his jabs at single cat ladies and working moms, might distract from Trump's current campaign efforts and draw attention away from the unified front that Trump and Vance might otherwise present. That and Trump seems to be downplaying the role of what a VP pick plays leading up to an election.
Historically, the vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact. I mean, virtually no impact.